All right, Black Science TV 111, Osei Kufuor, I'm back at y'all again, man. It's amazing how we can sit back and complain about certain things as far as history, what we call life. See, when we talk about history, we're not talking about the past, we're talking about the present as well. Because we're making history as we are riding the wave of what we call time, as we ride the wave of what we call energy. So I'm going to go into this video being mindful of certain things that has become of me within the past few weeks. But before I do that, I want to talk about some things pertaining to loyalty, family. When it comes to family, the only family you got is yourself. The same people that gave you the definition of family, or the same people that gave you the journey to follow pertaining to family, the same people who gave you religion. You have to identify the wavelength of your bloodline by way of the action of the people that you are dealing with. We have physical entities around us every single day who claim to be best friends, who claim to be family. But these people are only in our life as vampires. They're here to suck our energy. They're here to suck our frequency, to obtain our data. Because you don't only take DNA drawing blood. You take DNA by draining people's energy. So when people come around you every day and they're negative, these are needles that's drawing DNA by way of energy from your force field so that they can ride your wave or ride your data. And this is why we live what we call life in a slow lane, as passionate and emotional entities. Emotions is our biggest objective. The reason why I say emotions is our biggest objective is because emotions is fragments of us who have been bitten by these vampires that we bring around us against ourselves. We are our very own enemy because the things that's around us, these vampires bite other parts of us and we end up biting ourselves because we place ourselves in environments with people who we know is tainted and toxic, yet we still put ourselves in the atmosphere of these people, and it's not right. So who's to blame when we get backstabbed and when we get bitten by these snakes or these vampires? We can't blame nobody but ourselves. Now, there's a lot of things going on, and I'm gonna touch on the post that I put up as well on Facebook pertaining to how we follow elders who are actually asleep. And because we have conditioned ourselves to believe that elders are right and they can't be wrong, then we will never know the truth of who we are. Because we always have somebody else teaching us who we are. But I'll get back to that. I want to stay on the family and the loyalty. When we're talking about loyalty, no one can give you loyalty but yourself. So when we are let down by people that we call family and best friends, we are let down because we have let ourselves down. We knew that we didn't supposed to go into the environment of these people that we call family. Or we know that we didn't supposed to go into the environment of these people that we call best friends. But yet we still go there. And then we have the audacity to blame everybody else for our problems and our situations. No one can control you but you. No one can control you but you. But if you give the upper hand to other environments and people in those environments, then these environments and these people in these environments is the people that's controlling you. We feel like we have to be obligated to family when that's not so. When I say that you are one, I'm saying that you are many. I'm not saying that you are just a component that's singular. I'm saying that you are a component that's plural. When I say plural, I'm talking about more than one. It's just that when you are in this realm, you have been conditioned that you are one person. When you are many, and the many people that you are within this one component is consisted of many different elements and bloodlines. So you don't only have one bloodline. So when I say you are from a planet, I'm talking about many different realities within that planet. When I say planet, I'm not talking about a circle or a disc that's sitting up in the sky. When I say a planet, I'm talking about you come from dimensions where you are female, male, white, black, Chinese. It's just that here you black. Somewhere else you white. So here you hate somebody who's opposite color to you, but yet you are somewhere facing the same damn opposition that you are giving somebody else here when you are white in another realm. I might sound crazy to a lot of people, but let me just say this right here. I know that there are parallel universes. How do I know? Because no one has ever come to me in breaking down what a dream is to its lowest common denominator. But I use my common sense to break down what a dream is. A dream is only me living in another form, in another realm or dimension. And I just go there to visit myself in these forms when I dream, the nights that I do dream. And I know that there are people on this dimension who cannot go beyond dream realms that uses people's energy to get to these dreams, to take data from these people's dreams so that they can remember their dreams when they wake up. A dream is just memory. Something small here can be as large as the universe that you see through your physical eyes on this third dimension. It's time for us to stop blaming other people for our situations. So what is my message? I know I'm all over the place. But when you give other people energy and you give other people power for you being suppressed and oppressed, then you will keep the matrix alive. You keep the people who you say oppressing you alive. Why? Because the reality, your mind creates your reality. So as long as you're speaking what they want you to speak, this is why they put the stuff on social media. They want you to say that this man is oppressing us or this place is oppressing us. Why? Because they know that the mind creates the reality for them to be able to exist, to be able to make your words real. So while you're saying that, you're making it a reality for them to be able to oppress you. Now, every biochemical structure is not alike. And when I say not alike, I'm not talking about looking alike physically. I'm talking about it doesn't operate alike. In school, they teach you that we have 12 systems of the brain. Some people have 3. But those 3 systems is more superior and more powerful than those 12 systems that may be in other bloodlines. We use names like starseeds, Osiris, Isis, Ra. We use these names, but these are not literal things. These are not people. You have to be able to decode what I'm saying to you. Nothing exists in physical form that's real. The only thing that exists in physical form that's real is that which you make real. That what you say is real. So when you say they slayed my ancestors, and you say you are your ancestors, then you are giving them power to a past that you were a part of, not consciously, to oppress you at that time. So you are giving power and superiority to a people who controls what we call energy on this realm to create your history. None of y'all was there to see if this stuff was really real. You just going off of what a black face gave you. And I'm not disrespecting the elders. Now I'm coming up to how we give too much power to the elders. Even though we respect people such as Noble Drew Ali, can't none of y'all prove that Noble Drew Ali existed. Now I know that I'm getting at some of y'all. I'm going to let that sink in. How do you know that people like Noble Drew Ali existed? You mean to tell me that this matrix is so powerful to make a few generations believe in a man that you call Jesus? And now all of a sudden you wake up to find out that it ain't real? Right? That they're going to put something in front of you that is real? Think about what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to step on toes of people who still follow this illusion. Because there's some people who still follow this illusion who's getting more power and is more loyal than people who's not following that illusion that they woke up from. They just woke up and felt. See, it's just like this. Have you ever woke up to from a dream, and then you in a room that you fell asleep in, but then come to find out you still sleep even though you woke up to the room that you fell asleep in? That's how the people who are in the conscious community. They woke up from something and don't know that they're still in a dream. Not knowing that when they wake up from that, they're still in a dream. The only thing that's going to surpass all of that is death. What we call death. I don't honor the word death because death was created by people who created your books. And the people who created your books, we found out that they were liars. Right? So what is death? What is life? Is it a such thing as either one of them? Think about what I'm saying. We live our whole life debating. Where is the power? Just like when you go to church, you say, well, where's the power in the church if the preacher is raping these kids, sleeping with other people's wives? Right? But there's more worse things going on in the so-called conscious community than there is in the church. There's people using their bully pulpit on the corners and on camera to create agendas against people who they claim to be God or who they claim to be kings and queens just to make them feel good. In church, they say you're a child of God to make you feel good. In the conscious community, they say you're a God or you're a king or you're a queen. There's nothing wrong with it, but just make sure you don't have an agenda behind these frequencies that you are attaching to the people that you are connecting to. It's a lot that I can say right now that will blow your mind. I'm not talking about this because your brain is not your mind. I know I say this a lot, but it's a lot that will blow your mind, which is your reality. Because if the reality is created in your mind, then I don't want to say nothing to reconstruct something that you are still asleep in. Some people are still asleep in their reality. But just because they're asleep in their reality, don't mean that they are not conscious of certain things in the illusion. You have certain people that's asleep in their reality, and they're given that unconscious realism to an illusion that's not real. But to them it's real. And this is where it becomes dangerous. Because they will kill you for Noble Drew Ali. They will kill you for certain leaders, Martin Luther King and all these people. And they've never met them a day in their fucking life. Never. Not 1 second have they met them. They're going off transcripts and books that could have been altered and tainted by the same people that you give power to. How many of y'all know that the books that y'all reading was reconstructed and redone by the government? People in the government. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I've never met Noble Drew Ali, so I can't give the same power that the Moors give to Noble Drew Ali because I've never met him. Many of y'all may say it's disrespect, but to me, I'm being realistic about what I'm saying because I know my mother. I can say on November the 13th, my mother gave birth to me. I know my son because I know on 4th of July, 2008, we gave birth to my son. I was there when it happened. And this is where we all fail because we believe something that we wasn't there to download as a realistic part of history. And we are willing to die and strap bombs to ourselves to kill one another, right? So that we can appear to be the right ones. It's about right and wrong. It's not about balance. We want to be right. So what we do is we take the chessboard that we're on to higher levels so that the people who create the chessboard can get powerful on all of our head. And the people that's on the chessboard, I don't care, even the people that's fighting Noble Drew Ali, they sleep too. The people that follow Noble Drew Ali, they sleep too. So you might be saying, who wrong then? There's no such thing. Because if both can't prove nothing, if one side can't prove that Noble Drew Ali existed, or his lifestyle didn't add up to what they say it is, or the people how they wrote it, then they're wrong. If the other side can prove that Noble Drew Ali lived up to they're wrong too. You say, well, how are they wrong? Because they were never there. You can't go off a book. Yeah, I write books. But guess what? I tell people don't even go off of what I say. I always leave a blueprint that say think for yourself. The animosity that we are seeing today, people coming to me right now. What do you think about the Farrakhan and Pharaoh and all these people going against? I don't care about none of that stuff. All of this stuff is WWF. It's not going to feed my son when he's hungry. It's not going to put a roof over my son's head if he's homeless. And guess what? When I don't give a fuck about it and I leave this earth tomorrow, it's not going to do anything for me. I'm fine. I'm still going to evolve into higher lengths and dimensions to be able to be recorded in my own very individual history. We worry about things that really don't matter to us. We put a mask on because we are not strong enough to do the things that we are supposed to be doing. We always worry about other people. I remember going after Farrakhan at one time. Do I still give a fuck about Farrakhan today? No, I don't. But what I'm saying is, it's not my duty to give to the people what's common sense. And that's all I say in the position of that. Because everybody's saying, well, how are you gonna go at this situation with Farrakhan and how the conscious community going against Farrakhan? I don't care about none of that. Farrakhan don't pay my bills. Farrakhan don't feed my son. Now, I've spoken about that. If you go back to all of my blog talk and all that stuff, I already spoke about that. Gave you in-depth details about who Master Farrakhan Muhammad was, Wallace Dodge Ford, Henry Ford, the guy who owned Ford Motors and how he had a lodge in Detroit. I got all of that stuff. I don't talk about stuff that's old. That's old news. I don't regurgitate. I'm not learning from man no more. I want to go to the universe. I want to go to nature. Why? Because nature don't lie. Nature gonna tell me the truth. And I can't debate nature. Why? Because if I debate nature, then I'm debating myself. This is why people choose to debate other people. This is why people choose to debate other organizations. Why? Because they scared to challenge their self. The biggest challenge that you can give yourself is to challenge with yourself. When you have to go outside of yourself to challenge something else that have nothing to do with you, then you are hiding from yourself. I don't have to fight Farrakhan. Because Farrakhan don't have nothing to do on the type of food that I feed my son. Or if my son gets sick, I can't call Farrakhan to feed my son. I can't call nobody in the conscious community to feed my son. We're worrying about the wrong things. And we have unknown species and entities that is looking for us to give our attention to it because we are a part of it. But since we are looking to something that don't have nothing to do with us, we're going against the laws of our own self. I don't care nothing about Islam, Christianity. I don't care about none of that stuff. Because man was look, when you have books in front of you, you don't just read a book and say that it is right because everybody else following it. You have to research that book. If they give your black ass a job today, well, like I say, they're going to do what? A background check on you to see what your records is. And if they find out that you got a background record, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to hire you. So these people had a background record. These people that wrote the Bible and the Quran, they all got a background record. And in my reality of my employment, in my corporation, they can't work there in my mind as a reality because they don't fit the mold. These people came out of a womb just like me. You mean to tell me I'm going to believe somebody because they wrote a book and created a superior being that they made up for me to follow? I'm not doing that. When I go to the bathroom and pull my dick out to take a piss, God ain't there to do it. I do it. I do it. When I feel sick, I go in the kitchen and mix the herbs up. Me. So I don't say thank God. I say thank me. Thank my spirit. Thank my soul. Because I had enough strength to get up. All of us are living in a fantasy world right now, not knowing that this fantasy is killing us. Killing us under the illusion. Because you can't kill the reality. Even if you don't acknowledge your reality, you can't kill it. Energy can't die. Remember that. Thermodynamics teaches that energy just change shapes and forms, and they keep moving from one body to another. Whether you become an animal, what we call a human, whether you become a higher entity in the upper echelon of the universe, which is the sun, the moon, and the star, the elements, it don't matter. You can't kill it. That's why I don't worry no more about we need to learn the truth. Because the truth is not powerful than what I am. Even though I say we are the truth, I have to speak on the level of some people. Because remember that the truth was given to us by the same people who gave us religion. What it say in the Bible? You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. But what truth? I'd rather know nothing than to know the truth. Why? Because when you know something, there's something else. It's just like a lie. When you make up a lie, you have to make up a lie with another lie. Then to make up the lie to fit that lie, and a lie to fit that lie. So when you know something, you have to make up something to go against that something, to make up something to go against that something. And somebody will create those energies, which is that something, right? A two sides to that energy. Now you have to fight the people who is in opposition to those somethings that you are creating. We are not physical entities. So there is no physical truth. The truth that you are searching for is unknown. You will never know it, even if you learn every day, every single day. There was no elder who has came to this earth realm and left this earth realm in a physical body that's ever found of truth at all. Because there's no truth, what we call a truth, that can be seen. You can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't feel it. You can only be it. And the only way to be it is to balance yourself. How do you balance yourself? On this realm, you have to use numbers. Meaning you have to calculate your moves. You have to calculate who you trust. Calculate who you put in your circle. Family, best friends, whatever you want to call it. And before I go any further, I know that I'm slurring a lot in this video because, again, I have some spirits flowing through me. That's the only time I do a video if the spirits speak. But there are other realms among us beyond the things that we call truth. There's places more powerful than Kemet. There's places more powerful than Egypt, more powerful than Africa, more powerful than the people who is pro-black, is more powerful than your DNA. A lot of y'all won't get what I'm saying. But for those few people who do, this message is for you. For those few pregnant women who do, this message is for that which you are about to give birth to. Remember, we grown here, but we also about to be born in another dimension. Remember I told you, the same day that you die will be your birth date in your next life. So that means that I died November the 13th in my past life. Your birth date here was your death date in the past life. So they'll go take those numbers and investigate those numbers on the physical scale, on the illusionary scale, which could be a reality. And you can find out things that you've done in the past life, to find out who your enemies was. Because if you got shot on your birthday, or your death day in your past life, which is your birthday here, then you can find out who shot you and find out who your enemy is here. A lot of stuff that I'm saying is a little deep. And this is what they're trying to keep you from. They label a lot of people crazy because that's in the psychiatric wards and stuff like that, because these are the real truth speakers. It's not Farrakhan. It's not Noble Drew Ali. It wasn't Martin Luther King. It's not your president. It's not T.D. Jakes. Why would they be afraid? Why would they be, if T.D. Jakes and your people that you follow had the truth, they'll be dead by now. People may say, why you ain't dead yet? Because they done made y'all think I was crazy. So they ain't got to mess with me no more. Not just me, but other people. I don't put myself on a pedestal. But it's okay though, because it's other people who can't figure out why they can't be heard in the crazy jurisdiction. So they come and find people like myself and others that's on my route. And they say, now I know I ain't crazy. We might not have a lot of followers. We're not looking for followers. We might not have what you call a lot of followers. But remember, less is more than more. Because there will not be more without less. Remember I said 1 comes before 100. And when you say 100, you have to say 1 before 100. Not 800. You have to say 100. So you have to honor the 1 first. I'm just saying that because I want you to think. This is a proposition for you to have with yourself, to challenge yourself, instead of challenging other people. Fuck having respect for everybody else. Because a lot of us that have respect for Farrakhan and Noble Drew Ali and the rest of these people, we don't even have respect for ourselves. So I don't waste my energy doing all of that stuff no more. People call me every day. What's up with the United States of Africa? Let's do a black. I ain't with that shit no more. It ain't that they got me. I ain't afraid. I'll die before anything. I'll never give myself up for nothing on this round. This is a weak round. The volume of this round is very low. There's rounds where the volume is high. And you don't want to mess with me there. So I keep myself on a humble level. I keep myself on a humble level. And it's best that we all do that. Stop following people that you don't know. Stop following, as my mother always told me, you won't know a person until you live with them. Half of y'all ain't never lived with none of these leaders that y'all follow and ready to kill for. And y'all ready to die for these people that you don't know? You don't know if they sneaking through the back door of a government at nighttime while you sleep. You don't know if they sneaking through the back door of a Catholic church to speak with other people part of governments. I already know the truth with these people. I know what they do in these lodges. If I wanted you to be against the government, I'll speak against the government. If I wanted to get back on my grizzly right now and get my followers up, I'll speak against the government. But guess what? What if I was in there with the government and speak against the government and you still follow me? That means I could have you sleep for years. You wouldn't even know. And that's what's going on among us today. We are following people who's speaking against something that's giving them permission to speak against it. I'm going to say that again. And you better hear me clear. Because this will be an ancient record for you to give your child later. Most of us are speaking against people that's giving us permission to speak against them. See, the only person you should fear is a person who don't fear death. That's me. And many others too. There's a lot of people who so-called follow me, and we talk almost every day. We check in with each other. And guess what? I tell them to put that stuff up there. The universe is quiet. So a lot of us is against the universe because we're too loud. A lot of us is against the universe because we're too loud. Why do I say a lot of us is against the universe because we're too loud? Because silence is the key to opening the gate. Silence is the key to opening the gate. Meaning that anything that you're trying to see with your physical eyes is a key that's processed. Silence is here. This is the key. Your words are silent. But when you speak it, it becomes processed. And this is why we die from high blood pressure and diabetes, cancer. Because we talk too much and we're putting pressure on the brain. Just like when you fast from eating physical foods is good for your body. When you speak, you are eating processed food. And your brain has to work to break down what you're saying. This is why you have to study the speed of sound. If the speed of sound is too much on the brain, then you're going to give yourself spiritual cancer from talking too much instead of hearing. Hearing is more healthy. This is your alkaline food. Your hearing is your alkaline food. I just come today to say some things for those who need it. Because somebody went through something last night. or this morning, or is going through something with family, going through something in a darker realm, going through something in a dimension that had me on their mind. And because I was on their mind, they forced me to give them the answer that they needed by making me be in the form of them. It's called body snatching. All right. So with that much said, Black Science TV 111, Osei Kufuor. I'm out. Peace.